it's funny when you just have 6 or 7 people, you can tell everybody what to do and you can be in the center of the thing. And it's easy. But it's a terrible thing because the more you do that, and you can manage it as a person, you can do that. But as you get more and more people, the more you do it, the more you tell everybody else, well, don't worry about anything. He's in charge. He'll tell you what to do. And it gets more and more difficult. The worst part is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the more I was doing that, the more other people checked out. And the more they checked out, the more I had to do. And the less, how do I say it, the less impressive the people were. People were good people, seemed to be like they didn't care at all, weren't involved. And it was a downward spiral. And it continued and continued and continued. And we had 100, 150 people, and I'm up all night, up all day. And I couldn't count on the people. But it wasn't their fault. It was my fault. Because I'd taken all the responsibility away from them, and I had taught them really well. These are people who, everybody wants to succeed. Everybody wants to be successful. And they look to the leader for indications of what success is. And in my company, keep your mouth shut, do what you're told, was success. And they got really good at it. And these are good people, and I just couldn't understand it. Unfortunately, I brought in a consultant, a coach, who told me that I was the problem. And once I learned that I was the problem, which is a wonderful thing, because I wanted to bring him in to fix those other people. Fix that problem, that people problem. And he said to me, well, that depends. And I said, that depends on what? And he said, that depends on what part of the problem you're willing to admit that you are. And obviously this guy didn't have a lot of clients. Because I think it takes a special person to hear that message and react. And I just, fortunately, the good Lord made me that way, that I was able to take that message and say, well, that makes sense, because what I've got, at least I'm willing to listen, because what I have now isn't working. And so we really started focusing on helping people take responsibility. And job security is something that I cannot give you. The marketplace determines job security. If companies are strong and successful, your jobs are great. If the world is changing and customers aren't and the companies aren't reacting, no force on earth can keep that company in business and give you job security. There's really only one kind of job security that's worth anything, and that is being so good at what you do that I'm laying awake nights trying to figure out how to keep you. And when we started that process, then we started looking at the Johnsonville way and our values. And if you really look at love your neighbor, what does love your neighbor mean? It means caring for people. It means a person who's in the factory, who sees somebody else doing an unsafe act, would stop him right then and there, because they cared enough to not let that person get hurt. If somebody was going the wrong direction or sloughing off, they would coach that person. And I'm not even talking about a coach, a top-down relationship. I'm talking about fellow people coaching each other. Coaching is all about loving your neighbor and caring for other people. You shouldn't be a coach if you don't have that drive and desire to see other people succeed, to learn and grow, to help them take responsibility. It's not about you being the star. It's about helping them star, help them learn and grow. That's my job as a coach and as a leader, as the owner of this company, is to set that kind of an environment so that every person can learn and grow.